Welcome to the Ladies Kickin Ass podcast, where we raise our voices and honor the badass achievements of women in the service industry. Get ready for empowering conversations, inspiring stories, and a whole lot of ass-kicking energy. Join us as we redefine what it means to be bold, fearless, and unapologetically YOU, babe. This is your platform, your community, and your source of inspiration. So buckle up, get ready to rock and roll, and let's show this world just how much we can accomplish. Welcome to the Ladies Kickin Ass podcast. Hi, ladies. Welcome back. This one is going to be a good one. My guest today is Laura Fox, and she is here with us today, and we're going to have an incredible conversation around women and hair loss. And I know this is kind of interesting conversation that we definitely haven't had on here before. And that's what I love to bring you is different kinds of conversations, things that we are kicking ass at and things that we're struggling with and how we overcome those things. Because we don't like to live in the mud. We don't like to live in the yuck. And I can tell you from firsthand that this is something that I have struggled with. If you have struggled with it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, I want you to understand from the perspective of people that have what that really does to your mindset of things. Like, I think a lot of times we think, it's just hair until you don't have what you had. And it's not something that's vain. It's not something that is just a vanity thing. It really can be like who you are. Like, for myself, I struggled with that terribly after I had my child and went through a very traumatic divorce. My hair just fell out, like over half of it, eyelashes, all of it. And so for many people, they were like, why do you wear fake eyelashes? Why do you wear extensions? Why can't you just be natural? This to me feels more natural than what it looks like when I don't, because this is how I feel. And so I really would love to dive in and talk to Laura today about what she sees with the people that come to see her. She's built a beautiful business around helping women and I think some men too with hair loss issues. And she's going to give us some of the science behind it and then really the things that she sees with women, what they struggle with, and how they're able to champion by working with her and feeling more like themselves again. So Laura, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course. Why don't you give us a little bit of your backstory, kind of why you got into this field of expertise and what you do to be able to help restore the confidence to people that have hair loss issues?
Sure. So my backstory is I've been a cosmetologist working in the salon for over 15 years. Within that industry, I have become a Goldwell Master Colorist, extension specialist. I've done it all. The one thing that I could not perfect and I could not help anybody with was hair loss. So many women would sit in my chair and they were like family to me. And they would ask me about, they would have a stressful event and their hair fell out. They would have psoriasis. They would be going through chemo. There are so many different reasons why we struggle with hair loss and hair conditions. And every single time I felt defeated. I had no answer for any of them. We are not taught this in hair school. We're briefly touched upon scalp conditions and hair loss. That's it. They don't go into any great lengths about it. So as I got older, and once the pandemic hit, like most people, we had to pivot, right? We were like, we're going to figure out like what we can do now because salons were closed. Everything was happening. And I just had this, I don't know how it just happened. It was like the universe opened up and I just knew that somehow I can make a difference. And it was in hair loss solutions. And, I didn't have to say I don't know anymore, or just go buy some Redken shampoo, or try some of those oils at home. A lot of what we're experiencing with hair loss is way deeper than just some shampoo or a vitamin. Okay, a lot of it is medically induced. Any kind of medication that you're on, any treatments that you're undergoing, chemo, radiation, or stress, like you went through a nasty divorce. It is not uncommon to wake up one day and half your head be gone. and then your eyelashes. And you know how devastating that is? And then you go to your
Yeah.
doctor and they don't really have any answers. You go to your cosmetologist, they don't really have any answers. They're going to offer extensions, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But we need to support the mind and the body as well to get our hair growing again, to get it into a healthy state. So a lot of these women are feeling unsupported, unseen, and unheard. So that's really my motivation and my drive behind this. I see a lot of women that are seeing dermatologists and they're like, they're just shooting up my scalp and, it's not getting better and I don't have any support at home. And so I kind of come into play and I'm kind of like their hair detective, look at medications they're on and things like that and really guide them through like what's going on a deeper level.
That is awesome. So walk us through what that looks like. So if I come into your place of business and I'm like, Laura, help me. This is what is
Right.
happening. I've been through
Yeah.
this traumatic thing. I've just given you my story. What does that appointment look like? How do you go about analyzing what people need to do?
Sure. So the appointment actually starts long before I even see you. The appointment always starts with an exploratory phone call, going, just a chat, like just a really quick chat, just to kind of understand a little bit of background information. And then I send over a really lengthy DocuSign. And it's not to scare people, it's really to understand what has gone on a whole. Have you gone under surgery? Are you on any medications? And people have to be honest. And sometimes that's really hard. Some people don't, especially with the weight loss medication now, a lot of people that don't want to really talk about it, but it's something that we have to. So there is a background DocuSign that has to be done. I look at all that stuff, and then when you actually are physically in my space, the first thing we do is a derm scope. And with a derm scope, I'm going to be able to magnify like what's going on, on your scalp. Is there any inflammation? What do your follicles look like? Are they vellus hairs, which are dying? Are they terminal hairs, which are lively and thriving? So I get to tell on a derm scope what's going on. And then based on all of the health history and all the things that you told me about yourself and what I'm seeing on a derm scope, then we can move forward with a multi-therapeutic approach. Everything, there's no drugs in this. It's all holistic. And a lot of my clients like to get a scalp facial as well, because that will kind of clean up all that sebum buildup. And anyone who's experiencing just hair loss, what it does is it allows the topicals, which is your DHT blockers and your minoxidils and your growth factors, to get to the dermal papilla a lot faster without having all that buildup. So there's a bunch of different ways that we move forward. And then once you're my patient, I see you for an entire year to monitor what's going on. So we can always compare those photos that we took from day one, on month 3, 6, 9, and 12.
Beautiful. So you say it is a holistic thing. So many things that are out there. Actually, two parts. I got to touch on something else you just said. It's not like, here, you got to take this medication and you got to take this medication, because there's like, you get like, let's just say Amazon, for example, or you walk into a health store and it's like all these hair and nail
I
growth
know. Yep.
supplements. And every woman is guilty of trying at least a dozen of those. If
Yeah.
you have suffered
100%.
that,
Yeah.
we're like, oh, it has good reviews. Oh, it has this. Oh, it has this.
Yep.
What is like, are there, I don't even know how to ask this question. Is there like certain things that if you are experiencing hair loss that we should think about
Yes.
incorporating into our
Absolutely.
diet? Because like, they're like biotin, this, and you're like, what the hell am I supposed to take? And am I taking the right amount of it? Because you hear so many weird things about everything anymore. So shoot us straight. What are some holistic things that we can do if we can't get in your chair to come and see you?
So the first thing to do is to get some DHT blocking shampoos. That's very important because DHT is what binds to the hair follicle receptors and doesn't allow any of the oxygen and the nutrients to kind of make our hair grow. So DHT blocking shampoo is a must. And then you can do derm rolling once a week. And that's going to kind of aerate the lawn, right? Our scalp is like our lawn. When we have a healthy, thriving lawn, we see somebody with really green grass. We want to know like how they did it. They're probably aerating it. They're feeding it nutrients. They're eating all the good stuff. We have to think of our body the same exact way. It sounds so ridiculous, but really the analogy is what really paints a beautiful picture. So derm rolling once a week and a basket weave technique. So you're going to go back and then left, right, left, right, left, right. So, and then you're going to section again, do the same thing. So you'll derm roll once a week and then you'll put your topicals on. That's like our nutrients. So it opened it up. Really, really nice for us. So those are all kind of holistic things. Our vitamins, depending on why you're experiencing hair loss, you can take DHT blocking vitamins. No silicones, sulfate, DEA products on our hair. And just really a healthy, well-balanced nutrition is really key.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there things as far as nutrition goes that people should incorporate into their diet that is like super known to help with hair regrowth or even hair health?
Just overall, like there's not one thing that you should be eating more that's going to help your hair grow. I know that they say that there are things out there that people talk about, but it really is about being balanced. If you just have a general, well balanced diet, that's the most important thing. There's not like, go eat a head of broccoli and your hair will grow. No, it's not a one size fits all. And it frustrates me so much because we walk into Sephora, we walk into CVS, we put on an Instagram ad, and we're instantly like, that's it. That's the key.
Yeah.
Really quick story. I was on Instagram and there was a really well-known hair vitamin company, very well known. And the girl's got beautiful, thick, nice long hair. And she's talking about her hair loss. And then she starts talking about her hair loss here, but talking about it at her crown. Your crown of your head is here. And she's going, my crown. And she's going like this. Look at all the hair growth in my crown that came back. And she's not even pointing to the right spot. They're there just to
Yeah.
sell. And it's not like if you just take this vitamin, it's going to work for you. There's a whole host of underlining things that we got to look at. And that's where trichology comes in. It really is the whole embodiment. One of my clients, she found me and she was getting cortisone shots in her scalp for inflammation. And I said, you got to get a laser cap. Got to use a laser cap, and she did it religiously. And she just sent me a text like 2 weeks ago saying that she went back to her dermatologist and the inflammation is completely gone. So inflammation is another cause of hair loss. So these are like, that's a multi-therapeutic approach, is your laser cap. It's a wonderful device. It regenerates your hair. It stimulates the follicles. It allows it to oxygenate. There's so many benefits to using a laser cap, not just regrowing hair. So she brought down her inflammation naturally.
Yeah. Does inflammation, so like, for example, I have been really working hard on like getting my blood drawn every 3 months. I'm really focusing in on my health. So it is like my doctor's been talking to me too about like eating more of a non-inflammatory diet, like removing the glutens
Yep.
and the alcohol and the sugar and all this stuff. How much does that play into hair health and hair regrowth? Is that eating not like they tell you to stay away from dairy and things like that that cause inflammation in the body? Does that translate up into your scalp area too?
Well, it depends if you have underlying conditions, like people who have autoimmune diseases or lupus, or like it really depends on like what your body is made up of. Like, are you someone that's 100% healthy and there's no underlying issues going on? Would any of those things come into play? No. Just a well-balanced diet. If you have, high blood pressure, certain foods that you eat, yes, can contribute to it. Like, so you really like it's really hard to just say that it's a one size fits all. It really has to do with what's going on in your own world, really. People get so like a little frustrated by that, but it really, has a lot to do with your specific needs and your environment. Believe it or not, your environment. Are you pre-diabetic?
Huge.
Are we not pre-diabetic? Are we, like all these things that we have to, but on a personal level, I don't think nutrition is 100% going to make you gain or lose hair. You have to
Mhm.
be really like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. You did say something earlier too that like all these people that are on all of these like weight loss helpers, we'll call them helpers, drugs, whatever. Are they saying that
Yeah.
like those types of things are contributing to hair loss too? Is that like a side effect of those? Everybody's talking
Yeah.
about it, so let's just lay it out there.
I know. I know. So I had a woman reach out to me. She has burning, severe burning scalp. And, we did the whole intake. And after she trusted in me for a little bit, she revealed that she was on a weight loss medication. And that was one of the side effects was like burning scalp, I should say, and hair loss. So you have to remember with these weight loss medications, you take the drug and then you're losing weight immediately. So now your hair fat, your follicle that was sitting in a fat cell like this is now being shrunk. They're not getting as many nutrients quickly. Like it wasn't like you did it slowly. It was like the body goes into almost shock. And now that
Yeah.
where the fat cell that it sits in is now like, wait, I have nothing to feed me anymore. I'm used to like this. And now it's becoming miniaturization. Your hair follicles are almost becoming miniaturized and they're falling out prematurely. So
I've heard
yes,
that
weight
too
loss
with people
medication.
that yeah, that people that lose weight quickly like will experience bouts of hair
Yeah.
loss with that. So that
Yes.
makes sense.
But
Very
it does
interesting.
if you level off eventually, like, you know, um, I'm not one for it, but I'm not walking in everybody else's shoes. So I'm not gonna sit here and say,
Sure.
oh my God, it's the worst thing. Like as long as you have a plan B, like I told her, I go, you went on this weight loss drug, but you didn't have a plan B. Like the weight loss drug, maybe if you did it for 2 months, let's say, and then you went on this like really strict diet, that might have been okay. And no one's talking about the other side effects. Like she's getting these
Yeah.
injections and no doctor's telling her like, hey, A, B, and C can happen. And, they're talking about pancreatic cancer. Like they're talking about like,
Yeah.
really like, so, um, some people do need a little help. But if you do it for short term, I'm never one to say anything. Like I don't know what other people are going through. So I always say
Sure.
just have a plan B and just know the side effects and just try to come off of it, because once your
Yeah.
levels are like, so once you come off it and you stabilize, then your hair will come back. It's not like it's not like your hair got lost and it's gone forever because of your diet. It's going to come
Right.
back once your levels are stable. So I don't want anyone to get
Sure.
worried about that.
Yeah. That just scares the shit out of me anyways. You listen to any of those drug commercials on there and I'm like, I think I'd rather have whatever I have instead of all these side effects it's
I
talking
know.
about.
I know. It's so
So
tempting because
scary.
I know, but it's tempting because we live in a society where it's perfection, perfection, perfection. And unfortunately, we all are guilty of it in some way, shape, or form,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
whether it's like, forget about even the weight loss. I mean, we see somebody with like a really beautiful bikini on and we automatically place ourselves in that space. And then we get the bikini
Yeah.
shipped to us and we don't even feel or look like that. We bought into the idea of what that bikini is going to make us feel like. We bought into the image,
Yeah.
so like this whole thing has to do with imagery and like how, society's making us feel as women, but um it's really important to put our health first because you can't buy that. You cannot buy
No.
that.
Absolutely not. And this is something we were talking about before we hit record on this too, about what do you hear from your clients that you work with that are the things that they struggle with due to their hair loss? Like, do they have loss of confidence? Do they want to hide? Do they want to, like,
Yep.
what are the things that people are struggling with? Because honestly, for me, it is a vanity thing. Like, I'm not going to be a
100.
liar and sit here and be like, oh, it's okay if I feel like, I'm balding and my hair
Yeah.
is falling out. It's okay because that's just me. Like, many times, like people especially guys, they're like, why don't you just, my husband, just be yourself. You don't need eyelashes. You don't need the hair.
Yeah.
You don't need, I'm like, I need it for me because that is so
Yep.
much for me, a vanity thing that I feel good like this. I don't know what to do with these little
Yep.
hairs that stick out of my head. Like,
Yep.
I need to feel like this. So how do
Yep.
you like,
But
you
that's okay.
really have
But
to be like
that's
a
okay
coach
because
type
that's
of
not
person.
affecting your health. Right.
No,
But
no,
that's okay because that's
it's
not
not.
affecting your health. So the extensions, I'm all for. Eyelashes, I'm all for. Buying all the clothes, I'm all for. Like all those things make us feel good. I tell women that are, only because we don't feel like people that are going through breast cancer. I have a patient right now that's going through treatment, and she goes, I just don't feel good. I go, only because you don't feel good doesn't mean you can't look good. And she was like, and
Yes.
she just started crying because she was like,
Yeah.
somebody's listening to me. My doctor's treating the condition, my ailment, but no one's talking about the after part. No one's talking about,
Yeah.
the solutions. I'm not just helping people with shampoos and products. There's a plethora of options I have. I offer scalp micropigmentation. I offer different types of halo extensions, which aren't sitting on your scalp at all if you have really fragile hair and you're going through treatment. So women really, it's affecting their self-confidence. They're wearing hair fibers all day long and they're itching their scalp and they're seeing the brown on their nails. They're wearing toppers. They're doing anything. Like I have a client, I did scalp micropigmentation on her. It's where you do like almost like microblading for your eyebrows, but for your scalp, doing like little dots to fill in like that sparse area. And she would leave and still wear the topper after the treatments because it made her feel, it wasn't about the scalp, it was the weight of the hair. Does that make sense? Like she needed
Oh,
to feel
yeah.
weight. And the
Yeah.
scalp micropigmentation, as much as it covered her scalp, she needed to feel the security blanket, like the feel of the hair. So,
Mm-hmm.
I said to her, she said she was so happy she did it. But afterwards, she learned something about herself. I need the weight. No matter how good I look, no matter how much I don't see my scalp anymore, I need to feel that weight. So, every single woman that sits in my chair feels unseen, unheard, and their confidence level is completely down because they just don't know where to turn,
Yeah.
So, and it's affecting their daily lives, their jobs, their confidence. Even with, they're married and they're like, I just don't feel beautiful. I don't feel sexy. And I remind them all the time, 90% of what we're seeing is extensions. So we wear extensions,
Yeah.
like it's okay. It's something that
Yep.
we're able to fix. So why not?
Yes. What a blessing to be able to have this available to us because, just not even that long ago, it wasn't even possible to be able to do that. The technology around extensions right now is mind blowing. I've been looking into
Yes.
all of these different kinds of extensions and I'm like, because I don't want just the sewed in weft. Like, I need little pieces and spots where, like, that sewed in
Yep.
weft. I need to pull my hair up in a ponytail. I do, I'm active with things like, how do I do this and have extensions and ask those questions and
Yeah.
find out whatever you can do. There's something out there for you that will fit your
Yes.
lifestyle so that
Yep.
you can still feel beautiful and still feel confident, regardless of what, is going on with
Yeah.
your hair.
Yep.
You
I'm
can work
telling
on
you,
it,
there's
but it
something
doesn't happen
about,
overnight.
yeah, there's something about getting your hair done and feeling good and looking good. It makes you feel good. Like
Yes.
it really, it's an automatic thing. You put on makeup and we get our hair done. We automatically feel like we can absolutely conquer this world. It's just
Yes.
what it is. You put on a pair of heels, we automatically feel sexy. It's
Yep.
it's just human nature, and
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Yes. Oh, I love this conversation so much because it is one of those, we talk so much about caring about ourselves. And I think as women, a lot of the listeners to this podcast are moms, they're women entrepreneurs. And many times they're putting
Yeah.
their team, their kids, their spouse, their friends, their family, everybody ahead of who you are. And at the end of the day, you're like, I feel like shit and I don't take any
Yep.
time to work on myself, or I find it selfish because I want extensions and they cost $500 to $1,000, Like, I understand that that's a big cost commitment. I totally do. But you know what? You can find alternatives to those crazy expensive hair extensions, you
Yep.
know? Like you can
Yep.
buy little clip-ins, you can buy all kinds of fun
Yep.
stuff just to
Yep.
play with it. You know, gone are the
I
days
know.
where it's like, I can't wear extensions because people know they're extensions. Trust me, almost everybody that has really long, beautiful hair has some form
Has
of
extensions.
extension in their hair anymore. So,
Absolutely. Yes. And
yeah,
there's and when I say this, I really truly mean this. Like women come to me and they have a plethora of options because it's all about
yeah,
options. Like we should never feel like something is not going to make us feel beautiful or we're trekking around the kids, we're building businesses, we're doing for our husbands, we're constantly doing, and the last thing we're doing is for ourselves. And it's really important to put that, even if it's one day a week, we get like there's no in between. I either look like I'm poor and like a homeless person and like living on the street, a bum, or I look like I'm ready to like walk the red carpet. Like so
yeah,
it's a very we're on the drive-through line and we look like I don't even know what happened to us. Picking up the kids and all that, but
yeah,
there's definitely options, and there are people that you can talk to.
yeah.
Cosmetology, unfortunately, like I said, they're not always equipped to handle you know um, scalp and hair loss conditions, so seeking out a trichologist is really key.
Yeah, don't feel like you are ever helpless in a situation like this. And this is why I wanted to have this
Yeah.
conversation with you, Laura, and bring this to people's awareness. You know, I know other women that have struggled with the same thing that I have. And they're like, I don't know. Like, I don't dare. Even their thing was like, well, my husband thinks that's dumb. And I'm like, cool. But do you think it's dumb? Like, how do
Yeah.
you, show up for yourself authentically every day, and how do you feel best about yourself? Because that's the most important thing in the world, is that
Yeah.
you show up and you feel good about yourself, whether you're a crazy mess in the pickup line. Oh, I was this morning. My hair was doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
No makeup, no
Yeah.
nothing. You're like, throw on the big sunglasses. Let's take these kids to school. Then I'm going to come home and get myself together.
Yeah.
And then you sit down in front of a
Yes.
camera and you look at or walk past a mirror and you're like, okay. It just changes the
Yeah.
whole way that you feel about
Yep.
yourself. And don't
Yep.
ever feel
Yep.
guilty for that. It is not a vain thing
Absolutely.
for you to want to feel good about yourself.
Yep. When I got my eyebrows microbladed, they were so thin
Hmm.
because I grew up in the day where the thinner the better. The second I got them
Ditto.
microbladed, I just felt like a different person,
Hmm.
And these are the things that we can control. We can't always control outside things that happen to us. We can't control if we had telogen effluvium like you had, a stressful event made our hair fall out, right? We don't have control over that. It's something that, a situation we went through, and this is how our body reacted to it because it was so traumatic that the body did not want to recognize it. So we just push it out, and it takes form of something, attacks something, and it was your hair and it was your eyelashes.
Yeah.
And then when you lose that, we feel even worse. We're like, well, now what? You know,
Yep.
now what do I do? So having support and knowing that um, buying the clothes and doing all that, regardless if we live in a vain world or not. It's what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy every single day. Buy the clothes, buy the shampoo, buy the mascara, buy it because it makes us feel good. And we all deserve to
Yes.
feel good. Don't go into debt over it, but you know, definitely treat yourself.
Your needs are important too. I hear so many
Yes.
moms say to me, well, I was going to buy myself this, but I needed to get my kid something. So I put this back. I'm like, and how many pairs of shoes do they have? Buy
I
yourself
know.
something, like
Yeah.
that mental thing of being able to treat yourself with things and be able to take care of yourself is a real deal. It really is a real deal. And
Yeah.
you've got to put
And
yourself as a priority.
yeah. And one thing with clients that I noticed too, I want to mention is a lot of them will come to me now because I'm not in the salon industry anymore. But a lot of them will come to me and they've gotten to me out of feeling defeated, right? They finally heard about
Mhm.
me. They were like, And when they got to me, they wished that they would have done something sooner. Meaning, like, once they noticed their hair was thinning, they wish they would have done something sooner, because we don't treat ourselves. It's the same, so we think, oh, it's not a big deal, or I'll handle it tomorrow. But if you start noticing your hair is thinning, you have to take action. There's things that you can do to stop it. There's things that you can stop the shedding. So don't think that you're being selfish by seeking out help for it, because you can do something for it, and then you won't feel so defeated by the time you like finally find someone and you're like, this has been going on for like a year and a half, and I've neglected myself for that long.
Yes. Yeah, we have to stop doing that. We're all guilty
Yeah.
of it too. At some point,
Yeah.
until you figure out, I don't have to do this anymore. My needs are just as important as everybody else's are. So we definitely have to
So
take care
true.
of that.
Yep.
Well, Laura, if people want
Yeah.
to connect with you, where is the best place for them to be able to find you?
Sure. So they can visit my website, and that's www.maineinkny.com, and that's MANEINKNY.com. And on there, that's my website. They'll see a bunch of different stuff and information. And then also my Instagram is maineinkny, MANEINKNY. And there's always a contact me form floating around on my website or on my Instagram, and you could just fill that out, and we can do an exploratory phone call. I do send out scopes if someone is not local to me. I send out a scope to them, and I walk them through the steps of how they can scope themselves, and it's like nearer to me. And yeah, so any kind of
That's
condition,
amazing.
scalp condition, psoriasis, anything. And I'm also starting to train people in the industry, in the cosmetology industry, so that they can have better answers and solutions for those clients that sit behind the chair. So if anyone on here is a cosmetologist and wants to seek out how to learn more about trichology and offering scalp facials behind the chair where they can automatically immediately help their clients, I'm offering that as well. So on my website, there is a tab saying to the trade. So you could just fill out that form.
Excellent. Yes, the more of you out there, because it's definitely needed. And there's the more awareness that we spread that this is actually available to women, I think is so incredibly important.
Yep.
And it has just been a pleasure to have you on here today, Laura. And I think you embrace so much what this community is about. You found you were doing a service. You were in a service business. You isolated a problem that you see that needed more attention to it, and you rose to the occasion to try to find a solution for the people that were suffering with this problem. And to me, that is a true lady that is kicking ass. That is somebody that is really going out there and just making shit happen. But I want to ask you, what does the phrase ladies kicking ass mean to you?
What does the what?
What does the phrase ladies kicking ass mean to you?
Women that absolutely are in it for the long haul, right? They know what they want, and they are not going to stop. They are going to go at it every single day. If it takes a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and no matter what comes at them, they're just going to continue to just chip away at their goal. And that is someone that's kicking ass, because they just ain't giving up.
Yes, that resiliency and consistency will win every single time.
There's
I
no
love
way,
it so much.
there's no reason why there's no reason why we can't have it. The only difference between me and the millionaire down the block or up the road, however you want to word it, is just that consistency and that drive. And you cannot fail if you continue to do it every single day. It's only when we stop because we don't believe in it that we will fail.
Yes. Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. This has been so awesome. Thank you so much for all the information. I love being connected with you. I think this is going to be so great for our audience. And I know that people will be reaching out to you. So thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you for doing this. I mean, you're the one who's able to showcase all us, ladies, and, doing wonderful things. And it's because of your outlet, people who do outlets like you, it really gives us a voice. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for being part of the Ladies Kickin Ass community. Cheers to all you badass women out there. Keep rocking your power, igniting your fire, and making waves in the service industry. If you loved today's episode, please do me a quick favor. Take a screenshot, post it, and tag us at Ladies Kickin Ass. Be sure to include the link to your favorite episode. Your support in spreading the word means the world to us as we aim to empower even more women. Hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for more kick-ass episodes. And don't forget, a 5-star review is the ultimate high five. Connect with us on social media. All the links are in the show notes. Thank you for being part of our tribe. Now go kick some serious ass, lady. Hey there, ladies. Want to supercharge your personal growth journey with insights from the best in the business? I've got a treat for you. I have been raving throughout many of these podcasts about this incredible self development app called Growth Day. Imagine learning from industry powerhouses like Mel Robbins, Ed Milet, my girl Lori Harder, Brendan Burchard, Mel Abraham, Lisa Bilyeu. Oh my gosh, there's so many more. And guess what? Every Wednesday, they teach live that you can watch them and interact with them through this app. It's so incredibly cool. Beyond their wisdom and live coaching sessions, there is another incredible feature that I am obsessed with, though: the journal section. I use it every single day, whether it's either to brain dump, reflect on my feelings, remember things from my business, or dive deep with their brilliant journal prompts. I'm never at a loss for words when I sit down to journal. How freaking amazing is that? And because you're part of our podcast family, there's a special treat awaiting you. Click the link in the show notes below to check it all out. Embark on an incredible journey with Growth Day. Remember, every new day is an opportunity to grow, reflect, and evolve. And that is what we do as ladies who are kicking ass.